Now, when it comes to dominating Formula One races, few names resonate as powerfully as Max Verstappen. Known for his daring driving style and unmatched precision, Verstappen has consistently pushed the limits of what's possible on the racetrack. But it's not just his victories that impress, it's the manner in which he achieves them, often leaving his rivals far behind. So, let's take a look at Verstappen's most commanding wins, where he didn't just secure victory, but obliterated the competition with astonishing margins. Number 6. 2023 Belgian Grand Prix, 22.305 seconds.
All of that, when it looked so close, Max Verstappen throws down a marker with the fastest time in qualifying, 0.8 of a second faster than Charles Leclerc. But when you apply the gearbox penalty, it will be Charles Leclerc at the front of the field for the second time this season, come Grand Prix Sunday.
Well, at least we had a good Q3. And sorry to be for being so on the rant.
Slowly getting used to it, Max.
Starting from the 6th position due to a penalty, Verstappen faced an uphill battle from the get-go. But as the lights went out, he methodically began his ascent through the field, overtaking competitors with a mix of patience and precision. Charles Leclerc started the race from pole position, but Verstappen's relentless pace meant it was only a matter of time before he caught up. By the 9th lap, Verstappen had already passed Lewis Hamilton and was closing in on Leclerc.
Verstappen to the inside of Lewis Hamilton, who tried to close the door, but that Red Bull is rapid in the hands of the driver, chasing 8 Grand Prix wins in a row today.
His overtaking maneuver down the Kemmel Straight was executed flawlessly, showcasing his superior speed and racecraft. Once he had overtaken Leclerc,
will we go wheel to wheel? Charles Leclerc can offer no defence. It's a Red Bull 1-2. Max Verstappen, he's now gone from 6th on the grid to 2nd in the race.
Verstappen set his sights on his teammate Sergio Perez, who was leading the race. Despite a mid-race shower that threatened to upset strategies, Verstappen remained unflappable. While other drivers and teams debated whether to switch from slicks to intermediates, Verstappen navigated the slippery conditions with remarkable ease. By lap 17, Verstappen had closed the gap to Perez and made his decisive move, taking the lead between La Source and Les Combes. From that point on, his control over the race was absolute. He continued to extend his lead, demonstrating not just speed but also incredible consistency. By the time he crossed the finish line, he was a staggering 22.305 seconds ahead of Perez. Number 5. 2024 Bahrain Grand Prix, 22.457 seconds. Max Verstappen's performance at the 2024 Bahrain Grand Prix was another testament to his unparalleled skill. Starting from pole position, Verstappen made a flawless getaway, seizing control of the race right from the start. By turn 1, he had already established a significant lead over his rivals. In the early laps, Verstappen quickly distanced himself from Charles Leclerc, George Russell and Sergio Perez, who were battling behind him. By the 3rd lap, Russell had overtaken Leclerc for 2nd place.
This is George Russell trying to go all the way around the outside and get past Charles Leclerc, and he'll do so. What a way to start your season, George Russell, with a fine move.
But Verstappen was already pulling away. His pace was relentless, and by the 10th lap, he had built a lead of over 7 seconds. Pit stops began around lap 12, but Verstappen's lead was so substantial that he emerged from his first stop on lap 18 still comfortably ahead. His transition from medium to hard tyres was seamless, ensuring his pace remained blistering. As the halfway mark, Verstappen's lead had grown to nearly 15 seconds over Perez. The final round of pit stops saw Red Bull switching to soft tyres due to a lack of hard compounds, a strategic move that only solidified Verstappen's lead further. By the final laps, his lead had ballooned to over 22.457 seconds, a clear indicator of his dominance. Number 4. 2023 Spanish Grand Prix, 24.09 seconds. The 2023 Spanish Grand Prix began with a dramatic qualifying session where Verstappen clinched pole position with a spectacular lap. As race day dawned, dark clouds gathered, threatening rain and adding an extra layer of tension. Verstappen, along with a few others, opted for medium tyres, preparing for a race that would likely involve multiple pit stops unless the weather intervened. When the lights went out, Verstappen made an assertive start, swiftly cutting in front of Carlos Sainz to maintain his pole position. He then expertly defended his lead into turn 1, and right from the start, Verstappen's pace was electric, and he began lapping significantly faster than Sainz, his closest competitor. The first round of pit stops began with early gamblers like Valtteri Bottas and Nico Hülkenberg, but Verstappen stayed out, maximising his stint on the medium tyres. By the time he made his first pit stop, he had built a comfortable buffer. A smooth stop by the Red Bull team saw him switch to hard tyres and rejoin the race still in the lead. Midway through the race, light rain threatened but did not materialise into anything disruptive. Verstappen communicated calmly with his team, staying aware of the conditions and adjusting his strategy accordingly. In the final stages, Verstappen switched to soft tyres, ensuring he had the best possible grip for the closing laps. This move was more about securing his position with style than necessity. As his competitors made their final stops and engaged in their battles, Verstappen cruised unchallenged. He crossed the finish line a remarkable 20.409 seconds ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Number 3. 2022 Japanese Grand Prix, 27.066 seconds. The 2022 Japanese Grand Prix began with Charles Leclerc momentarily seizing the lead, outpacing Verstappen at the start. However, Verstappen swiftly reclaimed first place with a daring overtake around the outside of the first corner. The race conditions were treacherous, highlighted by Carlos Sainz's crash into the barriers, which scattered debris across the track.
And we've just seen a replay of what happened to Carlos Sainz.
Yeah, I crashed.
This incident led to Pierre Gasly's AlphaTauri picking up an advertising board, prompting the safety car's deployment and subsequently a red flag. The initial restart, planned for 40 minutes after the stoppage, was scrapped due to worsening rain, resulting in a further delay of over an hour. Eventually, the cars emerged from the pits more than 2 hours after the red flag, with just 48 minutes left on the race clock, a protocol introduced after the controversial 2021 Belgian Grand Prix. Drivers had to start on mandatory wet tyres, but they quickly switched to intermediates. Schumacher and Haas stuck with wet, but this strategy backfired, leaving them significantly off the pace. Verstappen effortlessly cruised past the slower Haas, and Leclerc's delay behind Schumacher caused him to fall from just over a second behind Verstappen to 5 seconds. Verstappen's pace was unmatched. He consistently lapped faster than Leclerc, extending his lead with each lap. By the end, Verstappen's dominance was clear. He finished 27 seconds ahead, securing a decisive victory that also confirmed his status as the 2022 F1 World Champion.
Two-time World Champion! Woo!
2023 Hungarian Grand Prix, 33.731 seconds. The 2023 Hungarian Grand Prix was another showcase of Verstappen's dominance. After a thrilling qualifying session, Hamilton had snatched pole position from Verstappen and Norris, setting the stage for an exciting race. Most top drivers started on medium compounds, making strategy and tyre management crucial. As the lights went out, Verstappen made an electric start, quickly overtaking Hamilton into turn 1. He firmly took the lead, with McLaren's Piastri taking advantage of the confusion to slip into second place. Hamilton's struggles continued as Norris executed a brilliant move around the outside of turn 2 to move ahead. By lap 15, Verstappen had already built a 5-second lead over Piastri, with Norris and Hamilton trailing further back. Perez, showing strong pace, began closing in on the Ferraris. Verstappen continued to extend his lead, managing his tyres and maintaining a commanding position. As the race neared its halfway point, Verstappen's lead had grown to 10 seconds over Norris. Piastri began to fall back, falling into Hamilton's clutches, while Perez continued to charge forward. Verstappen's consistent pace and strategic tyre management kept him comfortably ahead. With under 20 laps remaining, Verstappen pitted for a final set of medium tyres, rejoining without losing his lead. Hamilton followed suit, but the gap to Verstappen remained insurmountable. Verstappen's lead extended to a staggering margin as he managed his pace perfectly, ensuring no mistakes. He crossed the finish line with an impressive 33-second lead, securing a dominant victory. Number 1. The 2021 Styrian Grand Prix, 35.743 seconds. The 2021 Styrian GP is one Max Verstappen moment we'll never forget. As the lights went out, Verstappen made a flawless start, surging ahead of Lewis Hamilton, Lando Norris and his teammate Sergio Perez. By lap 10, at the fast and frenetic Red Bull Ring, Verstappen had extended his lead over Hamilton to 3 seconds. The race's first pit stop drama unfolded when Perez pitted on lap 27. A problem with the rear left wheel delayed him by 4.8 seconds.
Service is slow, Rear left, and on he goes. Mercedes may pounce on that.
Sensing an opportunity, Mercedes called Bottas in for a pit stop the following lap. A swift change to hard tyres saw Bottas rejoin ahead of Perez. Next, it was Hamilton's turn to pit. Despite a rapid 2.2-second stop, Red Bull responded brilliantly, bringing Verstappen in for a flawless 2-second stop, rejoining the race still in the lead, now over 4 seconds clear of Hamilton. With his lead secure, Verstappen expertly managed his pace. By lap 42, he maintained a stable gap of 4.4 seconds over Hamilton. Perez, still in pursuit of Bottas, gradually narrowed the gap to 2.8 seconds. Verstappen's dominance became more apparent as the laps ticked by, stretching his lead to 6.5 seconds by lap 48. In the closing stages, with a comfortable 15-second lead over Hamilton, Mercedes switched to damage control. Hamilton pitted for soft tyres on the penultimate lap, securing the fastest lap of the race. However, Verstappen's performance was untouchable. He crossed the finish line in a staggering 35 seconds ahead of Hamilton, securing Red Bull's third victory at the home track after wins in 2018 and 2019. This victory wasn't just a win, it was a statement of supremacy. So, what other Max Verstappen dominant moment have you experienced? Well, let us know in the comment section down below.